Yes, you see already, it's a new day, it's a new DIY. We are going to make something for the Easter season. And of course, I know it is early, but I always say you can never start too early to making your DIY. So you have every time to make it in time. Of course, I have here the tumbling towel blocks. I use the smaller blocks. You can buy, a lot of you can buy them at Dollar Tree. Of course, here in the Netherlands, we don't have a Dollar Tree. I order them always online, but they don't ship outside of the Netherlands, sadly enough. So I use this tumbling towel blocks. I have here my container with everything inside. Of course, I'm not going to say it all again, but we are using, of course, also the most important is the wood glue. And I have a simple brand, Pattex, but you can use any brand wood glue. Make sure that it is a cheap one. Of course, you also can use some hot glue for everyone who is using the hot glue. I have here some paint. I use some paint at your choice. I have here my old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue. And of course, he is wet. Always make sure that I have on my side always a piece of kitchen towel, but from paper, so I can place my pieces on top of here. So these are the main pieces we need for this DIY, and I really have no idea what I'm going to make yet and how it will turn out. So always make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages of tumbling towel blocks laying around, and you always have enough for every DIY. So enough talking, let's start the DIY. So I'm going to start my Easter series, of course, with some bunnies, but we are going to make some bunnies which you don't have to saw. At least I'm going to try, because not everyone has a jigsaw or something else, but you can use your jigsaw if you like that better. But I'm going to try to do it without the jigsaw, so we will see how far I will get with my bunny and that it even looks like a bunny. So we are going to start with 1 of 2, 2 sets of 3, 2 sets of 4 and 2 sets of 5. So very easy, you lay them flat on your table. You're going to do some glue on the side over here and place them together. You do on this 3 the same, and you just row them together. Over here the same. And you do on the smaller side, you do some glue. We do now the series of 4 and just row them very easy together. The last of 4 and this one, of course, like I told you, not everyone has a jigsaw, and I try always that everyone can make this DIY. But I heard also, can you let me know in the comments down below if you already have such a cutter you can cut tumbling towel blocks with. I heard that it should exist. Some cutter you can use for tumbling towel blocks cutting, and you don't have to use some saw, but I never, at least it's not here. So I'm going to squeeze the ones of 2, the ones of 3. Always make sure that you at the ending, on the outside, you give it some pressure, but always be careful, because I already have lots of time that it pops out and it wants to go up. So always, if you want to, try to start in the middle, work your way to the outside and then squeeze it at the ending. Now we're going to get our wet towel. We're going to wipe away the glue like this. Over here, and you see already the blocks are not straight anymore. Always when you wipe away the glue, go back. If you don't have a carpenter square, just go back and make sure that everything is in a straight line again before you're going to give it a couple of minutes, not more, only a couple of minutes. So you see already I gave it a couple of minutes. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take the 2 of 4 and we do some glue on the inside. So we do this way. Very simple, do some glue on the top, and you see already like this. We place now the other 1 of 4 on top of here. Place them straight up and make sure that you have them in a straight line. You do one of the ones of 4, of course, I said here 4, but the 2 of 5 you glue together. Then you take 1 of the 1 of 4, place them in front, in the middle of this one. We do here the other 1 of 4 this way, and I'm going to place this one on this side. Of course, be sure that you have them in the same line, like the one on top. So you have the 2 of 5 here, 1 of 4, 1 of 4. Now we're going to start with the 1 of 3. And we're going to place this one on this side. And we do some glue over here and place this one straight up on this side. And if everything is correctly, you get a nice little package and you're going to squeeze them. Always look that this is the same line with the other one. And now the 1 of 2, because this will be the neck. And we're going to glue this in the middle of this one. And you see, now we're going to wipe away the glue which is popping out. And of course, very gently turn it over. And you do here the same. If everything is correctly and nicely glued, of course, you are going to let this rest and we're going to do his head. So for the head, we have 2 sets of 4, 2 sets of 3 and 1 of 2. And also here the same, we're going to do the length of the block. We glue them together. The same like we did with the under part of our bunny. And of course, we're going to do this one. And the sets of 4 will be easy. You glue 3 and number 4 is the closure up. Always glue 3 and number 4 is again the closure up. And we're going to squeeze them together and over here. And of course, I'm going to wipe away the glue with my kitchen towel like this, and I'm going to wipe it clean and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave it a couple of minutes again. We do the 2 pieces of 4 we're going to glue together this way. I do 1 with some glue. I place this one on top and place it straight up this way. Going to squeeze them together this way. We're going to get 1 of 3. And we're going to place this on this side. This will be the underside. And this is already 1. Of course, not the underside, but his head of the underside of his head. That's a better, better word. Of course, we're going to do the other 1 of 3. And we glue this on this side. Again, in the same length as you did the other 3. And the last will be the 2 over here. And we're going to place them over here also in the middle. We're going to squeeze all the parts and we're going to wipe away the glue this way. Make sure that you glue everything nicely together. Turn it over very gently and you do this side also. And you're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So if everything is correctly, you have 1 of this one. You can very easily see 3, 2 of 4, 1 of 3 again, and 1 of 2. This will be his head. Then you have the under part. I will keep it this way. You see already 1 of 3, 1 of 4, 2 of 5, 1 of 4 again, 1 of 3, and 1 of 2. And you see we're going to do some glue on the 1 of 2. Over here, make sure that you have enough glue. And we're going to place it this way. And we're going to place this against the 1 of 3. And now it gets a nice little shape already of the bunny. And we're going to let this dry in for at least 10 minutes. So in the meantime, we are going to make his ears. And the ears will be, both of them will be different. So what we're going to do, we're going to, first for the bigger ear, we're going to do 2 blocks and again another 1 of 2. So we do some glue on one side and we glue this one together. And we do here the same and we give it a couple of minutes because the rest will be loose blocks. That will be 3. Oh, see already. At least 3 loose blocks. So we're going to give this one a couple of minutes drying. So now we're going to place 1 of the 2. We're going to place straight up. We do some glue on 1 loose block over here. You just do some glue and you place it on the top side in the middle. Very simple. I showed you a little closer. You see, just place 1 block in the middle. Place it straight up, let it straight up this way. What we're going to do, we're going to get the other 1 of 4, other one of 2, and we do some glue on the smallest line over here, and we place this against this one. So this way, and we're going to let it dry in also. And we give it a couple of minutes drying. So if everything is correctly, you have now this shape. So we have 2 over here, 2 over here, and 1 on top. You place it this way. We're going to get some loose block again on the longest line. You glue it and you place it on the inside of this block. So over here, this way, and you're going to give it a little bit of pressure. Make sure that you have a straight line and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So if everything is correctly, you have now this shape. Like this. Now we're going to place it this way. The last block, we do some glue on the wider side of the block. This way, you see over here, and we place this one on this side in the middle. And we're going to let this dry in. Now we're going to get 1 of 2, and we're going to get 4 loose blocks like this. And now we're going to first, we do these 2 together on the smallest line. We glue together and give it a couple of minutes. This will be the shorter ear. So I give this 1 of 2 a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to get 2 loose blocks. I'm going to do some glue on the smallest line. Place this one at the ending of this one. And I do here the same. Some glue on the smallest line and make sure that we place them on the ending. In a moment I show you how it is looking like. So this is how it's looking like. You just have 2 blocks glued together on the underside and just place these 2 in this side together. Now what we're going to do, we place them straight up like this. We're going to get 1 block. We do some glue on the wider side of the block. And we're going to place 1 of them over here. We do here the same, also on the wider side. And we place them on the top over here. So, and again, we're going to give it some rest for at least a couple of minutes before we're going to glue them on the body of the bunny. So if everything is correctly, you have 1 of this one like this, and you have 1 smaller one like this. So I hope you can see it right, so you can easily make it your own. And that's why I told you I try to make it look like the without cutting. So now we have our little bunny body, and we're going to place this down. What we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on this smaller line, on the longest line of the ear. So we do place it over here, and we place this at the ending over here. Take your time for it. And again, make sure that you have it on this side, and I'm going to give it some pressure over here. And I do here the same, but I do some glue. I hope I can show you. I have this one, and I'm going to do some glue on this one. So you have it this way, turn it over and do some glue on this side. So I'm going to do some glue over here, turn it this way, and I'm going to glue this at the ending on this side. Again, I'm going to give it some pressure, and I'm going to let this dry in for at least a half hour, because I want to be sure that everything is dry. And this is the smaller bunny. Now we're going to make the bigger one. So you see already on the table are the parts for the underside of the bigger bunny. So we have 1 row of 7. So 1 row of 7. We have 2 rows of 4, 2 rows of 6, 2 rows of 5, and 2 rows of 3. So you also can say 2 of 3, 2 of 4, 2 of 5, 2 of 6, and 1 of 7. That's maybe a little bit easier than what I told you. So we are going to do very easy. We lay them flat on the table, and we're going to glue them gently together until one piece. And of course, this will be the bigger size, and this way you can size up to any size you like. Of course, I hope this will turn out also nice, but we will see at the end. You can let me know in the comment what you think of the bunnies, but this is the very easiest one you can find, because you don't have to saw anything. So now we're going to do the 2 of 6. And like I told you, let me know in the comments if you like to decorate also for the Easter season, and especially also with bunnies. And if you're going to make this DIY, I hope you give, of course, I hope you give this one a try because it's so much fun. I always love bunnies. I have a lot of collection, of a bigger collection of bunnies, because I love to buy them everywhere I can find them. Also, when I'm going to drift, I always love to find them in a thrift store. And because, especially the older ones, but that's already at least here hard to find. And now the only 2 pieces, the 2 of 3, like this, and the last of 3 this way. And we're going to gently squeeze all of them together and wipe away the glue. But of course, I won't bore you with that. I will do this a little bit faster. So now I gave them a couple of minutes. What we're going to do, I'm going to get my 1 of 7. I'm going to get my 2 of 6. So I'm going to do some glue on the 2 of 6. So this way. And we do here the same. And this way. We place the 1 of 7 straight up. We get 1 of 6. And we're going to place them against here. And this one on the other side. And this way. Make sure that you press them gently together. And make sure that the lines are the same length. Now we're going to get the 1 of 5 over here, and they do here the same. Make sure that every block has a little bit of glue. We place 1 straight up over here, this one straight up in the opposite direction again. Give it some pressure. Make also sure that this one is in the straight line with the other one. We get the 1 of 4. Very gently. We place this one over here. We do the other 1 of 4 over here. And we give it also some pressure. Now we do 1 of 3 on this side. And the last, this will be now his neck. The other one was 2 pieces was his neck, and this one is the 3. So you see already the body is already a little bit higher. And again, make sure that every line is the way you want to have it. Wipe away the glue, turn it gently over, place it down again. And again, squeeze it. And make sure that everything connects nicely together and you don't have open gaps. And you're going to let this dry on the side. And now we're going to make his head. So you see, now we're going to build his head. We have 2 rows of 6, 2 rows of 5, 2 rows of 4, and 1 of 3. So again, we're going to do the 1 of 3 also again on the smallest line. Of course, later you can dream about my telling you how to make this DIY. But it is so easy to do, and I always do step by step because I want that everyone can make the DIY, at least the Easter bunnies. And this one you can change up, you can even spray paint them in the gold color. That would be also a very nice side, or maybe black. You can do any color you like. You can distress it, make it look like it is an old one. So you can go many ways with this bunny. And the greatest thing is, if everything is correctly and it looks like a bunny, you can do it without sewing. And that's for a lot of people a great thing, because not everyone, like I told you, has something laying around, or maybe someone who can do it for them. So again, we're going to squeeze the 2 of 6 twice from the inside to the outside, and then at the end always give it some pressure on the outside, because you don't want that it falls apart. And again, we're going to squeeze. You see already this one is so much smaller block. I'm going to replace it for another one, because or else you can really see it very well that one is much smaller. And again, and of course, I'm going to use this block later for another DIY, or maybe I cut it in half and I can use it also. Again, we're going to let it rest. I'm going to wipe away the glue and make it straight again. And we're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So now I gave them a couple of minutes. You see already the 2 of 6, 2 of 5, 2 of 4 and 1 of 3. What we're going to do, we do on the 1 of 5, we're going to do some glue. And on this one, and of course, let's not forget on 1 of 6. And I'm going to place this one on top, place it straight up this way, squeeze it together. We do 1 of 5 on this side, the other 1 of 5 on this side. And now we do the pieces of 4, place straight up on this side. And we do this one on this side. And now we do the last number, the 1 of 3. And we're going to squeeze all of them together in one line. We want to have it, and then we're going to let this dry in also. The same as we did the other part of the body, the under part. Of course, turn it over very quick and wipe away the glue over here. And again, redo your piece and let it dry. And now we're going to do the ears. But of course, before we're going to make the ears, I'm going to place the body on top of his head. So you see already, this is the part of the head. You see, we start with the 1 of 4 under, 1 of 5, 2 of 6, 1 of 5, 1 of 4 and 1 of 3. So we're going to place this over here, and this is how the body is looking like. Also very easy. You start with 1 of 3, 1 of 4, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 1 of 7, 1 of 6, 1 of 5, 1 of 4 and 1 of 3. So, and now we're going to do some glue on the 1 of 3 over here. We're going to do some glue here. Make sure that you have enough, because you don't want that it falls apart. And we're going to glue it exactly in the middle of this one. And we're going to wipe away the glue and let it dry in for at least an hour. But we are going to do in the meantime the ears. So for the bigger ear is of course a little different than we did with the smaller one. And of course I hope it will look like, so I just improvise. I have no idea how it will turn out. So we have 2 rows of 3, 1 rows of 2, and we have 2 loose blocks. So we go for the 1 of 3. We do on the smallest line, we do some glue. We roll them together. All 3 of them, and this one, and the last of 3, and of course this way, and 1 of 2, and this way, and we're going to squeeze them, squeeze it, and make sure that you have a straight line, and wipe away the glue and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now we get the 1 of 3, and we do some glue over here, and we glue 1 of the other one on top of here, place it straight up. And we're going to give it some pressure this way. We're going to place it in this line. We're going to get 1 of the other blocks. And of course we are going to glue on this side a little bit of glue on the inside. So a small line over here. And I'm just going to place this one over here. And this way I'm going to give it a little moment to dry. Now we're going to do on the 1 of 2, we're going to do some glue also over here, and we're going to place it on the top side, on top of 3, but in the middle, so this way, and give it a little bit of pressure, this way, and make sure. Now we're going to get some loose block over here on the smallest line, and we place them on the inside over here. And we do this one, and we do on the wider side of the block, and we place this again in the middle of this side. And so you get a nice little bit of an hanging ear. So, and for the smaller ear we use 3 sets of 2, 1 of 3 and 2 loose blocks. So again, we're going to glue this one together. We do this on the smallest line together, and also this one. And now we're going to get the 1 of 3 and over here, and I'm going to squeeze it. Make sure that everything stays nicely together and wipe away the glue. So now we're going to get for 1 of the 2, we're going to do some glue over here, and we place the other 1 of 2 on top of here. Place it straight up. Make sure that you have a straight line and you get a nice block of 4. You do them in this line, in the longest line of the block. You place them. You get to do some glue on the inside of the 1 of 3, and you place this also on the top. Then you get the 1 of 2, you do some glue, and you place this on the back side of the 1 of 2 over here, this way. Make sure that you do it just with patience and just let it fall together by itself. And of course you're going to get 1 block, loose block, and you do some on the smallest line. Place this one on this side, and you do this on the widest side of the block, and you place this one in the half of this part. And in a moment I will show you both of the ears a little closer, so don't worry. I'm just going to let this dry in, and then I show you both of the bigger ears a little closer. So like I told you, I show you the ears a little bit closer. Of course you see the 2 of 3 on top of each other, 1 of 3 over here, 1, 2 on the top, and on the side you have also 1 and 1 over here. So place this one down. Here the same. Here you have the 2 pieces of 4, 1 of 3 on top of here, 1 of 2 on top of here, and 2 loose blocks over here. Again, place it down. We are going to get the body of the bunny. We're going to place it this way. We're going to do some glue on this side of the ear over here, and I'm going to place it down and place it on the ending of this one. And of course he has quite some ear, I see. He has a lot of ear. We're going to do here some on the 1 of 2 over here, and we're going to place this one over here also at the ending. And now we're going to let both of them dry in for at least an hour. So I see my bunny, and I'm a little bit debating if I'm still going to do one loose block on the top of these ears of the bigger bunny, because I think it makes a little bit more round. So I'm going to do some glue, and I take on the widest line and I place it in the middle on this one, and I do here the same, and I place this on this ear in the middle on top. So I think that it gives a little bit more of a rounding for the bigger one. So we're going to let this rest at least for an hour. So the bunnies are dried up right now, and we are ready to paint it. Of course, I did get my little container with some half beads. I always buy them on Temu, so in different sizes, and of course bigger ones, smaller ones, and I always do them in one box. So I have one bigger one for this bunny, a smaller one for this one, and of course I have a bigger one for the back side as his tail, and this one a little bit of a smaller one for his tail for the back side. So I'm going to place them also over here because we have to paint them also. And I'm still debating with myself what color I will use for the bunnies. I think I'm going to go for a little bit of the off-white color, maybe one a little bit off-white and the other one maybe a little bit more brown. But of course, like I told you earlier, choose any color you like. So you see, I have here, I'm going to do the bigger one in the white color. I'm going to do the other one in a little bit of the brown color. So I do a little bit of brown on this piece of white. Not too much because I don't want to have it too dark. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to look for if I have enough. I'm just going to mix it in. Just very simply, just mix it together. And so you can choose any color you like. And like I told you, choose any color you like. And I'm going to do the beads in the opposite direction. So I do the tail of the white one, I do in brown. The tail of the white of the brown one I do in white. So I think you see already, I make it difficult for nothing. So you see in a moment which colors this will be. It is Monday, so the English has to start up yet. So bear with me. So you see it's a little bit of the lighter color brown, and I am loving this color. So we will see how this looks like on the blocks, because you see it gives just a nice little color. He's not totally in the brown color, but a little bit of, and the greatest about this paint, you still can see some wood coming through, and that's what I like. So I take my time for it. I won't bore you with that, so I will paint this one. So my smaller bunny is now in the brown color, in this color, and of course before I'm going to clean up my brush for the white color, I'm going to color the bigger bead, because this will be the tail for the white bunny. So I do both of them in opposite directions. So I'm going to give this also a nice brown color like this, so they are really matching with each other. So we will see how this will look like. Of course, this is just an example. Just do whatever you think is right for your decor. So I'm going to let this dry with the bunny. So now I'm going to do my bigger bunny. I'm going to do in the white color, and then I hope he changes up and he looks like a real bunny. So I'm going to take this white, and of course this white is also a little bit shined through. So if you want to have it covering, normally you have to do it a couple of coats, at least, or two. So, but I'm always loving the color that it is, the wood is still coming through a little. So I take my time for this one also. So now I have this bunny in the white color, and I'm going to do this bead, of course, also in the white color, because he is the tail for the brown one. So I'm going to go over with my paint, and I'm going to let also this bead dry in a couple of minutes, because he dries very fast. So I'm going to place it over here. So now the two bunnies are drying, one in the brown, one in the white. The tail from one is white, the other tail is also in the brown color. Now I have left over a little half bead, and then even a little bit of a bigger half bead. This will be the nose, and I'm going to do both of the noses. I'm going to do in the black chalkboard paint. So very easy, just place some black. And you can also do it with a marker. You don't have to do it with the black schoolboard paint. I just choose the black schoolboard paint because he is drying up very in the matte finish, because I don't like the high gloss finish of the high, how you call it in English. At least when it is shining, I don't like it. I like the matte finish. So I'm going to do this with some schoolboard paint. So, and then we're going to let everything dry for at least a half hour. So both of the bunnies are dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make my eyes. And I have here just a very simple pencil. And I'm just going to take the one of the 3 blocks over here. I make a little mark over here between the first and the second over here on the underside. And on this one also over here. And I'm going to show it to you a little bit closer this way. So I always have a nice line where I want to have my paint, and I want to take the back side of my small brush. I do the back side, I dab it inside of my chalk paint, and I'm going to do just a little simple dot. If you are a great painter, then go ahead and make it as you want, but I am not. I'm just going to do my best and make it as easy as I can. So now I'm going to go in and make it a little bit of a bigger round, like this. And I try to get them both even, so I do them a little bit wider, and then maybe you can later do a little white dot inside. You don't have to do it, of course. This is just something you can make for your own. You can make it as big and as you want. So I'm going to leave it this way. I'm going to let it dry in for a little moment. So of course I have now my eyes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place the smaller one, which is black. I'm going to do some glue on the back side, a little drop over here, and I place it a little in the middle of the eyes, and like this. And I give it some pressure and give it also a couple of minutes that it can dry in. So now my nose is also on top of here. Now I'm going to get my simple marker again, because I use this before I'm going to paint it or do the my permanent marker. I always take my gray color and just make it in front so I don't make mistakes. I'm going to take the nose. I'm going to do on the underside, in the middle of the nose, I make one little line down, and then I'm going to go up and make kind of a smile. And I do this here also on the other side. This way, I show it to you in a moment. Like this. You see, and now I'm going to go over it with my black marker or my black paint. I will have to look. So I chose for the marker, this just a permanent marker, a smaller line marker. Of course, this is how my bunny first one turned out. Of course, later we're going to give it a kind of a little bow. So this is the first one, and what I'm going to do, I place it straight up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get now the white bead, and I'm going to do some glue on the underside over here, and I place it on the back side, of course in the underside over here. I have to look that I have it in the middle like this, so he has his own cute little tail. I'm going to press it, and then we're going to let this one dry, and I'm going to do with the white one the same. So also with the white one, I have here the a row of 3 pieces, and now I'm going to go with a row of 4 and then the 5, and from the 4 I'm going to do a little dot on the underside for the first one, and here on the underside here. I can show it you a little bit closer. I hope you can see it. And I'm going to get my black again, and I'm going to make the back side of my brush. I'm going to do again in the black chalk paint, and I'm going to make a dot over here and make it as big as you like, because this one is, of course, the bunny is a little bit bigger, so the eyes can also be a little bit bigger. So then if you stay in a little bit in the place you made your dot, then nothing is going wrong. So again, over here I make my eyes a little bigger. So I take my time for it, and then we're going to glue the nose. So now I made my eyes. I'm going to get my other bead, half bead, with some glue. He is, of course, a little bigger than the other one from the first one. And then I'm going to glue it inside, give it a little bit pressure, and give it a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to get my marker, the same, make a little line to down, and then make his mouth. But I think you already know. So you see, this is what I mean. Now I have also his mouth with some pencil. Now I'm going to get my marker, and I'm going to make this also in the black color. So now you see, I have also his mouth. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my bead, and I'm going to glue this on the back side of my bunny. Then the only thing I'm going to do, but you can do anything you like, I'm going to give it a bow, but you don't have to do it. So I'm going to glue this, but you see in a moment a quick impression. And you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling tile blocks Easter bunnies, and they are really so easy to make, and you don't have to sew it. Of course, everyone, I hope you give this one a try. Everyone who is new here, I hope enjoy what you saw, and if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Everyone, have an amazing day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.